Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
A very good evening to you for joining us on The Truth, Lies and Politics. My name is Paul Ekurot Eki, and this is a place where opinions ignite, perspectives are challenged, and diverse opinions and ideas are discussed across the table. Well, there's been so much happening in the week, and well, we do have interesting conversation this evening. But if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, join us on our socials. That is at Spirit TV UG on X, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And do make sure you leave your comment there. Do make sure you leave your question. We'll be good. We'll be happy to address it. Now, before we get into the conversation that affects you and I introduce the panelists that I have in studio this evening, I'd like to leave just this with you as we kickstart our conversation.
Tonight on The Truth, Lies and Politics, we turn our attention to the escalating war between Israel and Iran, a conflict shaking the Middle East and echoing around the world. But why should Uganda pay attention? With our esteemed panelists, we break down how this war began, who the key players are, and what the ripple effects could be for Uganda. From economic shocks to political realignments and even religious tensions. Is this just another foreign war, or are there deeper implications for us here at home? Could Uganda have a voice or role in this unfolding global crisis? Join us as we connect the dots and ask, is this our war too? Only on The Truth, Lies and Politics on Spirit TV. Stay informed, stay engaged.
And we do welcome you back to The Truth, Lies and Politics this evening. And like I said, if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, at Spirit TV UG is the link for you to be able to watch. If you'd like to go online, you can get that link on YouTube, and on Facebook you can be able to leave your comment there. Well, before I introduce my guests in studio and before we get into our conversation this evening, this week has been very busy right from last week, and just so far some of the items or some of the things that have been happening during the week is one, of course, the parties are having nominations going on, and each party is as busy as you know, right from the NRM to NOP to FDC to even the newly formed parties. People are getting nominated as we do get ready for the campaigns, the heavy campaign season. And so I'm hoping that you're also taking your part. Also, in that line yesterday, there was another fire in Chitezi. And yeah, we just do pray that the safety and life has not been lost. But the president assented to the UPDF amendment, then it was Act 2024-25, and now a bill. He assented to it, and the Law Development Center and other lawyers are saying they are going to go to court, to challenge it. I'll hear a thing or two from from some of my panelists on that. And then lastly, what is happening in Nairobi? Yesterday has been chaos. People have lost lives, and I think there was within the CBD there was a shutdown after there were riots from that death of a gentleman who reportedly, they say, died in police cells. The deputy police chief has stepped aside, and but the riots are still continuing. We do pray for peace in that sense. Well, to get into our conversation for the evening, we have Mr. Odaka Asuman from NEED Party Secretary General. He had taken a hiatus from us. Busy sensitizing people about the NEED Party and so much more. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
I've met him for the first time, then my colleague there and the senior
Yeah.
and viewers.
Oh, thank you very much. It's good to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
I do have a prophet in the house, Prophet Cheyune, and from Kairos, Elijah Cheyune from the Kairos Fellowship. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Lastly, we have Mr. Charles Romshana, who is a former spy but also political analyst on the show. Good evening, sir, and welcome to The Truth, Lies and Politics.
Psalm 74.
Yes, sir.
Those who have seen God's salvation, those who have seen God's salvation already say, how great is God. So God is great, and God is exceedingly merciful. The message I have for you is, you see, I've read from Mr. Trump and Mr. This one from Israel, Netanyahu.
Bibi.
Yes.
Bibi.
Talking about the killing of Khomeini. In our language we say Mzee Khomeini. Actually we say Omugurusi. The moment you reach that age we give you a title.
Mugurusi.
Or Omugurusi. You would call it like an elder. The Swahilis call them Mzee. The Waganda call them Omukadde. You really can't take pride in wanting to kill such an old man. Whether you have differences in opinion, whether you, even by the way, when you are at war, there are people you wouldn't really crave to put down, the children, the women, and the elderly. So it's extremely very unfortunate, but in some of these things that hinge on our, or I say to our morality, we tend to take them for fun, and the earth pays for it. So I'm in prayers for him, that may God protect him. May God protect him. The earth shouldn't have that curse. It's the duty of the young to protect the elderly, take care of the elderly. The second one is when you give to these we call insane. When you give them, they don't thank you.
When you give them something to eat.
They don't thank you.
No.
Why? Because it is we who are insane.
To them.
We are insane. We want to be thanked for even what doesn't belong to us. We don't own anything on us. Everything on us is owned by God. Yes. So if you give your neighbor, don't crave for a thank you from the neighbor. The God in the neighbor is appreciative so we don't. You go to church, you've gone to pray to God, and then you give, and you want people to clap for you, recognize you, and worship you. No, they came to worship their God, and so we always extend that stupidity even to the extent of wanting to have a thank you from the very same whom we call insane, when actually we're the ones who are insane.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Romshana, for that. Always having a word, even as we start our conversation. But I would just like to take a very few minutes and just hear a comment, or two from Mr. Odaka. I know when Charles was here the other day, we fully discussed the UPDF Amendment Bill and Amendment Act. But I'd like to hear, then it was not passed, but he had said it will go through. But then, Mr. Odaka, your thoughts on the President passing the Amendment Bill 2024? Assenting, sorry. Yes, assenting to it.
It is now a law.
Yes.
Number one, everybody knew that was Museveni and Muhoozi law.
Should we celebrate it? Shouldn't we celebrate it?
And since it was a Museveni and Muhoozi law, you would read from the rhetorics, especially after the Supreme Court order against the court martial. So in view of that, and in view of what they were advancing, and in the spirit, if you want to know the intention of the owners of the law, you read the first draft. And since this was an amendment, you would take the Museveni and Muhoozi rhetorics as the first draft of the amendment.
Okay.
And therefore, that is enough to tell you how bad or terrible this law is for democracy. So you really do not need even deep analysis into what the law is, because a person who wants the law very badly is the one going to Twitter to post for you pictures how somebody is in his basement and doing ABCD, including learning another language. So that cannot be a law we would celebrate or would really want to have when building a country, when building a nation, when building something that we all want to be in. Because it is a law, like Senior Charles loves saying, of the NRA electric occupation. It is just a law putting the last nail in the ambition, for the ambition of the occupiers to succeed. That's all.
You call it ambition for the occupiers to succeed.
Surely it is. It is. It is.
Interesting. Thank you. I will back.
And for me, I am happy that he has assented to it, so that those who can challenge it, challenge. Because I am not saying that because I know they will succeed in court. Because all these institutions,
if what the court had said has been ignored, now you're taking it back to the
let me tell you, yes, that is one, that everything that court. So let us take to court what they said, so we see what they will say this time. Okay. That is one.
If the
but number
changes.
Two, of course, I am mindful that most of the institutions are now the occupiers institution. You get it? So I am mindful. So, but you see, taking this to them is also to take record. Let us put it on record.
That we did what?
That we did this and this and this. This country is not ending tomorrow. There will be time for accountability.
Wonderful. Thank you. Prophet, you have something to say in line with that?
Yeah, I don't agree completely with the way the law is handled, or the way that civilians have to be tried in the military. I believe civilians have to be tried in its other courts. Yeah, because the nitty and gritty and the laws of the military are quite different. Some of them are quite different. Yes, and that's why there has been this dilemma. If it was all the same, then they wouldn't. So partially, there is a part I agree with, and there is a part I disagree with.
Okay.
But just like Mr. Odaka has said, history is going to be listening, and people are going to give accountability. See, as you know, for me, I am not NRM, I'm not FDC, I'm not ABC, I am not whatever, but I speak the truth. I try to speak the truth. That and history will judge us, because you can make a law just to pinpoint or to judge one person, but then you get caught up with it after some time, because you made it for one individual and you never made it for the whole community. So I believe it is right to be challenged, since one of the pillars of democracy is justice. You get it, integrity, transparency. I think they can challenge it until it is balanced. You get it? Yes.
To it.
Yes. So that is my opinion about it.
Thank you. And I know that we have to wait for it to be gazetted before then it will go to court. Charles,
yes.
Just a thing or two. Will it, if this thing has been challenged and court also throws it out, does then the president?
So you want to? 2 things only.
Yes, yes, sir. Because we have many things to discuss on the Iran-Israel
Well, you
war.
want knowledge?
Yeah.
One, in 1986, Suligo notice number 1
Yeah.
of 1986, the sovereignty of the people of Uganda was
Was
usurped.
usurped. Yes.
Now we made a constitution. We supposed, or we took a decision in the CA to transfer back the sovereignty to the people. So that's why they say that the authority of these courts is from the people, because the judge is approved by Parliament.
All right.
The authority is from
The people.
because the judge is approved by
Parliament.
Parliament. Selected by Judicial Service Commission, approval is by
The elected,
Parliament,
yes.
by the elected, and then protected.
Yes.
You can't, nobody can dismiss. It's a long process. You can't even punish the judge for what the judge decides. Now, Mr. Museveni has usurped that. He now wants, with his high command, to appoint a judge. So that's reversal, number 1.
Yes, okay.
The way he did it in 1986, it was a military issue.
Yes.
Now to reverse it from him, it cannot be through courts. It must be through military means. Because he is subjecting the sovereign
To
to the military. He wants to control the sovereign by the military. The second one is you are innocent until you are proven
Guilty.
guilty.
Yes.
By a competent court.
Yes. Now this law, this serial law, has created 2 pathways. That if I do robbery, no, if I do robbery and alone, you try me in High Court.
But if I do robbery with a soldier,
But if I do robbery with a solid, if I do robbery with the other gun, if I rob with a panga, you try me in. But if I rob with a gun, you say court martial. Why they say court martial is not the robbery.
It's the gun.
It's the gun.
the preserve.
So they say, if you are in possession, then court martial. So the issue is possession. So the question is, who would have proved that you are in possession? Because they are saying, for me to appear and be tried in the court martial is because I am in possession. But how do you prove that? How would you determine I was in possession without a trial?
Interesting.
Because you see, if you are
You're already
charging,
guilty before proven
yes,
innocent.
because you see,
In
you
that
should have
argument,
taken me to the court, to the
to
High
prove
Court.
that you're in possession.
You should have tried me in the High Court.
Yes.
But then you say, no, we are not going to take you to High Court. We are going to take you, same offense. We are going to take you to court martial because you did this with a soldier. To make the point home simple, let's say the case of Vesage. That because you are with, this soldier is called who?
Ola.
Ola. Because you are with Ola, therefore court martial. But have you proved I was with Ola? So in other words, it means you have convicted me of being with Ola. You have already judged me guilty of being with, on the aspect of being with Ola. You get? If they said, if you are alleged to be in possession,
That would mean something
that
else.
would then, because then where do you
You'd have
prove
to
it?
prove.
So why don't you then prove first in High Court that I was in possession? You first handle the
Then
issue
you
of
can try.
being in possession.
Yes.
And then you say, now since you are in possession, then
try you
since
now.
you've been convicted of being in possession, now we are going to try you on the other offense. Maybe that would make sense. But so then
a longer
lastly
process.
on appeal. Article 92 states Parliament has no power. No, Parliament is stopped by the Constitution.
In the article of the UPDF.
Constitution.
Of the
No,
Constitution.
Constitution.
Okay.
To make to make a law that has the effect of changing a judgment as between parties.
Exactly.
Wow.
Parliament cannot,
Yes.
under this constitution, pass legislation that has the effect of
To
changing a
the
judgment,
judgment.
as between parties. So there are two elements. The first one is judgment, and the second one as between
Two
parties. So what was this judgment? Who are the parties to this judgment? It was Kabaziguruka versus
The
Attorney General. So they are the two parties. So Parliament has no power to make a legislation that has the effect of changing judgment as between parties. Now Kabaziguruka went to court to challenge his trial
in
the court martial.
Yes.
And the court held he cannot be tried in the court martial. Now these, I've seen the people, the media, Museveni's media and operatives fronting Zake and Senyonyi. We're going to appeal, I want to appeal. It's a trap. Because they don't have a cause of action. So you get what I mean?
There is no cause of action.
That the cause of action, me, I went to court and won a case on my land title, that the land is mine. Therefore, you taking my land was unconstitutional. Now, Parliament has no power to change that. As between parties, so you have to underline as between parties. Now you are not a party. You were not a party in this case. Why are you rushing to appeal? When the one who was a party is available.
So you could have
What is wrong with these guys? Why can't they look for Kabaziguruka? And say,
I
appeal and we support you, we join you. You get? But you see, they are rushing to be the ones to be in the appeal and then kill the case. So I therefore would like to appeal to Ugandans to stop these people. Let them go and do their drama on their, you know, they had their petition. No, they had their petition challenging the election results.
Yes.
And then they removed it and did their drama after taking the money from their Nakba, and then they said, we are going to the court of public opinion. Kabaziguruka should take back his case to the constitutional court.
Wow, now you hear the different perspectives of that one.
Just a short one.
We need to switch our conversation.
There is something that Charles, okay, there are two. But the first one was very pertinent. Charles talks about the sovereignty.
Yes.
People as a sovereign.
Yes.
And this constitution that Charles is made, every arm of government there is
independent.
No. There is a citation within the constitution that says, for example, 126(1) that says judicial power is derived from the people. Parliament from the people.
From the people. All direct us back to the people.
But now, when and that gives a foundation for Parliament to approve nearly every appointment the President makes. Now, when you come to the army, by the way, I don't know whether it was an oversight on you people.
Refused.
No, let me first put it to you. No, that's a good revelation. I don't know whether, and it is the most, by the even that, even what we are talking about as Museveni is struggling, it was given foundation to that it is now only the army that the people do not have a say over. By the way, that's what it implies.
We wanted to subject the appointment of the army commander to Parliament, and Muchamuntu refused.
You see, that is CDF
is appointed by Parliament.
In other words, actually, if you want to take that further,
yes,
it tells you why some of us insist the UPDF as is of today is not a national army. It is simply a militia.
Because it is the authority and the powers are given to one
That
individual.
is why even at the level of the legalese within the army, the man tells you it is not sovereign. So where are you going to force him to make people have a say over an army that is his? It is a property. It is like his cow. These UPDF are like cows in Raktora.
Wow. Good and interesting revelations here on The Truth, Lies and Politics. And gentlemen, we will have to switch. I like what we have gone through. Yes, but now, you see, in the heart of the Middle East, there are two regional powers that have been locked in a decades-long shadow war. That is between Israel and Iran. Now it's a conflict fought in secret operations, cyber attacks, airstrikes, and also proxy battles. Of course, we're not seeing a full-scale war, but we are looking at it. You know, we are looking at it.
Calling it
is
not.
It's already a full-scale war
yes.
right now. You know, and this rivalry is such, you know, a delicate but also a dangerous rivalry between these two countries. I just want to ask, we're going to have an opportunity of hearing from the spiritual side, but also from the political and other sides, you know, of this war. I would like to start with the prophet. You go on the spirit, then I'll get to Odaka and then Charles. All right. How did we get here? From your own perspective?
First of all, we got here through the history concerning biblical prophecies. Yeah, Israel is the apple of God's eye, and it was an era that Abraham created, partly that Abraham created, you know, concerning Hagar. You get it, there is Isaac, there is Ishmael. You get it, those are the Isaac is the Jews, and then Ishmael are these Palestinians. They're all fighting for the same land. You get it, and then we have these guys, that the Persians. The Persians are the Iranians. We have the Persians, the Medians. All those people came from they are the current day Iran. You get it. Actually, on the day of Pentecost, they were one of the first people to recognize the Holy Ghost. You get it? They had yes, the Persians, because they had these people in the upper room speaking in different languages, and part of the language they were speaking, exactly, including their language.
Can I correct you there, if you don't mind?
So, first
when they spoke,
yes,
you would hear them in your language.
Yes.
They were speaking a language, but you would hear it in your language.
Yes.
Everyone would hear them in their language.
So let me first finish. So the thing is, with this war, it is a prophetic war. See? And for us who are Christians and for us who was born again, we know the ultimate end. We do not know the fullness of the process, between A and C. You get it? We know the A and C, but we don't know the B. That's where we are right now. Because the people around Israel will always be attacking it. It is written in Scripture. It is written in Scripture. Actually, according to the prophetic calendar, this is a trial. This is a mock exam. Yes, for Armageddon. See? This is one of the pre-wars before the big war that is coming. And according to the prophetic timetable, it's about to happen.
The big war.
Yes, where Russia is going to come against Israel, where China is going to come against Israel, where Egypt is going to come against Israel, Iraq and Iran.
All those that are going to...
Yes, they are going to come against whatever. We are no longer in the last days. Because a lot of people say we are in the last days. We are not in the last days. We are in the latter days. We are in the last days of the last days. The last days of the last days. Because when Apostle Peter rose up on the day of Pentecost, he said we are in the last days. This is what was spoken in the last days. So ever since 2,000 years ago, it cannot be the last days. We are in the latter of the latter of the latter days. You get it? And we are on God's timetable. We are in the actually we are in the 7th year of the Lord. 1 year is 1,000 years is like 1 day to the Lord. So we are in the last part of the year. We are in the last part prophetically. As I'm here to represent the prophetic. So why are these people trying to destroy Israel? Because Israel is their threat. You get it? And why is this man called Netanyahu trying to start a war before they attack him? He's trying to preempt them because these guys are preparing a big bomb. You get it? For them, they're truthful about what they say. They say, down with Israel, down with America. We want to kill these people. In other words, we are not doing this for self-defense. No, we are doing this to destroy these people. Whether they have attacked us or not, it is our plan, it is our agenda, it is our hobby, it is our vibe, it's everything. That's the way they campaign. There's nothing.
Even when the Israelites have been saying this bomb since 70 what?
Exactly.
The nuclear bomb, and no proof yet. Of
yes,
the
but
bomb.
right now, whatever they are doing, because they have a lot of uranium, they have a lot, whatever they are doing is to destroy these guys. Okay. So what is happening right now, because of the promises that God gave Abraham and gave Jacob, I've missed Isaac, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. Yes. He said, whoever fights you, I will fight. Whoever makes peace with you, I will make peace with you. And those who pray, I've been praying for Israel. I've been praying for Israel the whole of this week. That those who pray for the prosperity of Israel, or the peace of Israel, they shall prosper. And this is the word to everybody watching. Pray for the prosperity of Israel. One of the reasons, I know this may be controversial right now, but people will answer back later. Is one of the reasons we went through what we went through, because we attacked Israel. Or we participated in helping people. In 19 whatever, in the 70s, when Idi Amin. We participated. We facilitated. We are accomplices. We are affiliated. Are you hearing me? But I believe people have repented of that. And one of the reasons we are having prosperity in Uganda is because of that. We may not be there, but we are at least progressing. And one thing about this war is so prophetic. Okay. It is so prophetic that everything they do. For example, the man that right now is standing against the Israelites, the one we have been talking about, Netanyahu. Yes, his name means gift from God.
Netanyahu.
That's what it means. It means God has given this man, this is a gift to humanity, or this is a gift from divinity to humanity in Israel at such a time as this.
Right.
You get it? He's the longest serving. He's the longest serving. Yeah, he will say something. He's the longest serving prime minister.
Yes.
This is his third. It's not the third term, but this. He's coming back again and again. He has been coming back again and again. He rests a little bit. You get it, and then he comes back again. Yeah. So, whatever is happening in Israel, I mean in Israel and Tehran, Iran. Tehran is the capital city. Is that imagine within within a week, the high command, 5 people, almost 7 people, beyond 5 people, the high command is alienated by these guys. See? I mean, these are not corporals, these are not brigadiers, these are generals, lieutenant general. And in one moment, that is a miracle in itself. And then recently, I think it has been today, correct me if I'm wrong, right now today, the guy that replaced the army commander has already been eliminated.
The one who was there for 2 weeks, I think?
No, not 2 weeks. It's about, what, 1 week or 4 days. The one that replaced, because they attacked on Friday, was it Friday? The one they put the replacement, you know, he has not even put on his garments properly. He's still warming up. Today, he's gone. The guy that said that if Israel and America attack Iran, they're going to open up the gates of hell. He's the one, he was the first one to go to hell. You're not hearing me. Are you listening to me? Yes, he was the first one to go to hell. Because any threat against Israel is a threat against the apple of God's eye.
Interesting. Okay.
And the Bible says, touch not the Lord's anointed one. Touch not the Lord's anointed. And these guys are anointed, born again or not born again.
Yes.
The favor of the Lord is there.
That is the point I was going to ask you and say, the assumption that is all the Jews are saved and all, and yet there are those that don't even believe that Jesus Christ was,
most of them.
Yes. And so how you reconcile these two, we are getting to that. You'll have an answer for that in a short while. But I'd like to get to Odaka. From your that was the spiritual perspective. But from your own perspective, from your own thought, how did we reach where we are at today? And what would you like to add or challenge? Please feel free.
Israel is an experiment.
Whose experiment?
For the imperialists and the globalists. And if you want to appreciate and partly, and part of what my brother is giving to the public, there's a document you need to read. It is called, I think, the Protocol of the Zionist Elders of Israel.
Protocol of the Zionist Elders of Israel.
Yes. It will tell you, you will understand
Yes.
that this experiment, properly dressed with the lies and propaganda, with the proper channels of dispensing, so that the minds, or the global minds, appreciate and therefore praise and therefore become simply perpetrators of this deceptive experiment called Israel.
Right? But it's a full country. It's a full
It is
nation.
not, it is an experiment, I will tell you.
Define an experiment, sir.
No, I gave you whatever. I'm going to define it. I had an opportunity to,
Yes, it's
listen.
okay.
Yes.
do that. You see, to know that it is an experiment, in addition to that document there, you need to read it. I have even
I see you
shared.
sent it, you shared it
shared
with me.
with you.
I'll
It is
share
a-
it
it is
with
a- it is
the-
a
with the
long
prophet, yes.
document of how these globalists wanted to do this. So you will go back to 1452. You begin following these people called the Jews from 1452 to 1948. You will know. You will surely know that this is an experiment,
Yeah.
and this experiment is surely going bad. It is really becoming a mistake. Now, the people who are trying to experiment this, you know that even the small unit of this experiment called the formation of the state, they wanted to experiment it here in your country, here in Karamoja. That shows you the wild thought about this thing called Israel.
State.
Now, get back to your real question to me.
Yes.
What is it? They will tell you, anybody will tell you that in the Middle East, before, and that's why you see when you hear the Iranians, most of them don't refer to Israel as Israel. They say the occupied territory of Palestine. You get it? That's what they refer to it.
Yes.
The occupied territories. That is one. Number two, when you look at, by they go back to all the prime ministers of Israel that have been there from 1948, you will realize that all of them have a European name and therefore assumed some Jewish name when they became prime minister. Deception. All of them, by the way, have some European name, some Polish name, including this one.
Benjamin Netanyahu.
But that is not an English name, it's a Hebrew name.
No. I am telling you.
Remember, Benjamin was
No.
the younger brother of, was it Joseph?
Listen.
Yes,
I know
of course,
that
yes.
Benjamin was the youngest son of Jacob.
Jacob.
But I'm telling you about this Bibi. You have a gadget there. Find the real name of the Bibi. They will tell you some Polish name, which is not some European name, which is not, and that they will
It is
even
not a
tell you
Jewish
when
name.
he assumed the Benjamin Netanyahu. They will tell you when he assumed it. That it is not his.
All right.
You get it?
The search.
So I am telling you the deception of this experiment called Israel. Now, then you come back to the so-called, to how we came here. All countries around that people claim, okay, for now, Iran,
Yes.
they will tell you that, okay, what is it that they are talking about? That Iran has a nuclear weapon. But
Or they are building.
they are building,
nuclear-
is a threat to Israel. You know that in the early 1940 something, the guy was a young man and he was talking about the Soviet Union. Now, the same rhetoric he was pushing against the Soviet Union in late 80s, he was pushing against Saddam. Actually, now it's the same to Iran. If you put down so and so, the world will be a better
place.
And you see, all those rhetorics, the only thing he was changing out is the current enemy is facing. The same wording, the same rhetorics. put against
We
the
shall
Soviets,
give it to him
the same
for
one
consistency.
against Saddam, the same one against Iran, the same one against the Palestinian, the same one against everybody. It is deception. It is a state built on deception. It is an imperialistic ambition,
Yes.
putting itself there, that the Europeans want the A, B, C, D, and therefore there must be a satellite state to
Because of
help them achieve A, B, C, D. You know, me and you know that Israel, as of today, by the way, when you talk about this particular war,
Yes.
first, Iran has given permission to the atomic agency to inspect their own, and they still say they don't have. Israel has not. That's one. Number two, all these international treaties that either regulate whatever it is, including the ICC and so on, Iran has, Israel has not. So who is the rogue state in the globe? So,
Iran has given their
so who is the rogue in this in the globe? So if you look at, if you're looking for the rogue state, and I'm telling you, Israel is a rogue state, and I will tell you that there is nobody who does not have a right to exist.
Yes.
But I think Senior Charles started by praying for an old man called Khomeini. But you see, you cannot be surprised that some Bibi is talking about killing Khomeini when he's killing children, babies 3 months old, and is taking pride. So tell me, which kind of gods? Because I have a perspective about God, about Israel.
Yeah.
If you wanted me to preach about Israel and what is talked about Israel in the Quran, I will give you a handful.
Yes.
You know, there are you know, people, and these prophets should also begin to tell us. You know, they were children of Israel. Then there are these Polish who these ones
Who were taken to Germany.
who were
right?
taken to German and came
were
with
sent
their
back.
whatever names and so on, and coming to proclaiming so many things and so on and so forth. Even brainwashing people who are Christian like them to think that that you see Jews are, you know.
They are the blessed nation.
Do you know in Israel, I'm sure he knows, that Christians are less than 4%. And by the way, they can execute you for being for saying Jesus is the Son of God.
That's why I was telling him he has to reconcile the part where, you know.
I have the answer. I'm just giving him opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, that's the beauty about the Truth, Lies and Projects. We
they
have
can
different and
execute
differing
you
opinions
for being a Christian in
Israel.
So
right.
for me, I think Iran is now the hero.
Okay.
The hero, the global hero. By the way, if there is anybody who is fighting to pacify the globe as of today, I want to take it from the American journalist. People should support Iran because it is now in the front line of fighting a global rogue.
Interesting. You hear and you make your decision. Charles, from what has been said, I know that you have an analytical sense on that. A question that I will ask a little later is this our war also here in Uganda? You know, would like to bring it home. But Charles,
USA
yes.
was a colony.
Until they took out the Red Indians.
It was a colony. Whether they took there was a genocide against those Indians with that color, it was a colony. Point number two, most of the population of USA were slaves.
Most of the population.
Yes, sizable population. These ones with black pigment, they were not migrants. They were slaves. They are there as a result of wickedness. These people who preach, these people here, they have forgotten. They they forgot that their ancestors were taken there as slaves. See, they fought 2 wars, one for independence and the second one there was a civil war, very deadly civil war. So they cannot be exporters of morality. No, they can't export truth.
That is from the
Now
United
let's
States.
also go to religion, which you would call civilization.
Religion, which you'd call
It's
civilization.
a civilization now. It's their
What it calls.
Civilization.
No, it's a civilization.
It's a civilization,
It's
that's
what you
true.
call the Western civilization.
According to Mr. Romshana.
No. That's not a fact. That's a fact.
Oh, that guy is agreeing.
No, it is.
But we can argue this. Don't worry. Each one will have their time.
By
to
the way,
rebut, yes.
there are few things you may not be aware, you may not be knowing. It's dangerous to make an assumption that
No,
you
I'm
know
not all knowing. I'm not El
very
Shaddai.
good.
Yeah.
So what they call Western civilization is hinged on Christianity. It's religion. So you have those 2 civilizations. Now you have Islam, and there are even others. But what dominates Europe and USA, those 2, Christianity and Islam, are not from there.
The ones that are dominating Europe right now.
And USA, much as it came here and dominated here, it's not from there.
Where is it from?
We are secondary recipients. No, we are third.
I think 4th.
Third or fourth. They were not the first. They also got it from the Middle East.
Interesting. Can I just put a pause there, Charles, and then
You can't even put a full stop.
yeah, no, I can't put a full stop because we are, in fact, a pause, comma. We're going to come back from the point of the Middle East, and then we continue our conversation. This is a power-packed conversation, and I love that we have differing opinions, but we do have the opportunity for you to send in your question or your thoughts on our socials. That is at SpeedTVUG, and please go on X, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We'll be glad to hear from you. Stay tuned. We still do have more for you.
Truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy.